What's good, y'all? My name is Steph, and we're back with another episode of Going Forward Podcast. Today, we here with Qua. What's good, Qua?
What's going on, Steph? Good meeting you.
Yeah. So we just here. He gonna talk about his new mixtape, how he got started in music, and just chop it up regularly. So, Qua, tell him a little bit about yourself. How you get started? Well, firstly, let's get just tell him who you are and what brings you here.
So, a lot of people know me by different names. Qua Money, that's what I started out as. I'm formerly known now as QuaGoingCrazy. I've been doing music since like fucking middle school. I'm from Jersey City. I went to 41 Lincoln. That's about it, really. 14 school, but that's elementary. I wasn't tapped into no music back then. And I've been doing this shit for quite a while. I know a lot of people in Jersey City. I helped a lot of niggas in Jersey City when it comes to music. Work with a lot of them. That's about it, man.
Okay.
It's been a long, tough journey, though.
So you from Jersey City?
Facts, facts.
Okay, so wait, like, how was your childhood growing up? Like, what got you started in music? Yeah, how was your growing up in Jersey City like?
Growing up in Jersey City was kind of cool as a kid. Like, I didn't always do music.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing music once I got to middle school through a friend named Joseph. He used to go by, like, J Smacks.
Okay.
So, like, he kind of introduced me into, like, DJing and shit, like the Jersey City Blends or whatever. So I tapped in with that. I stayed strong with that from like middle school to like throughout high school. When I was in Lincoln, I ran it up in Lincoln. That's how I met like a lot of people from Jersey City. Was through Lincoln High School. So like once I met him, he told me to DJ and shit. I ran into another guy by the name of fucking Hooks. His pops, he used to work with Jim Jones and shit. He lived right next door to me. He used to produce or whatever. So like our fathers connected us together in a sense, because they was childhood friends and shit. So they linked us up because we had mutual commons and shit like that. So that's how I started getting into like producing. But ever since then I took it real far from producing.
So what would you say you like more, like was it producing or creating the music, promoting the music? What interests you more out of that whole process?
I don't know. I really just like to create shit, bro. Like music, I've been doing it for so long. Like once I got started into it, like I never put it down. Like I used to stay up all night doing it. So it's just, I guess it's just a love for music in general. Like just being a creative as a whole. Like it doesn't matter what it is, as long as I can express myself through it. I fuck with it. Like
Walk us through the creation of your first project. How was that like? What
the nerve wracking. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know if it sounded good. I didn't know if people was gonna like it. I didn't even know if I was doing a good job. I'm just lost, but it was just my love for like having fun. I'm like, yo, this shit fire. Like, I see how everybody else was getting reaction and traction from it. So I'm like, let me try it. It don't seem that hard.
What was the name of it, by the way?
Back then, it was just my name, part one.
Oh, okay.
QuaMoney.
Self-titled. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Self-titled. But shit, man.
Well, and what did that speak about on that project?
Well, I wasn't rapping. It was just blends. Like, so it was Jersey City blends. We basically take like instrumentals from songs, different acapellas, R&B acapellas, soul acapellas, and just blend them in together. But I feel like Jersey City, like, they got like this sort of collection of music. Like, it's like you got the crates. It's like everybody got the same set of crates in the sense. Like, you know a Jersey City mix when you hear it because only people from Jersey City use those songs. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I wanted to like step out of that.
Okay.
That's like another part of my transition because you couldn't really get paid off of that unless you was like putting your CD in stores, selling out the trunk, or doing parties. I wanted to get more money. You get what I'm saying? So once I learned about production and like how the deals went, like you could work with artists in the music industry, I saw the dollar signs and I was just like, I'm fucking with that. And it's just like me DJing was already a part of production that I just didn't realize. It's just that I wasn't creating the music. I was combining everybody else's music together. But I tried to like, just take a step back and be like, how could I like make this solely my own? So I could benefit the most from it, and that's how my transition really started, from DJing to producing. It was really more so like the financial journey of it that like really switched my mind alongside with meeting different people and shit like that. So like my connections and
Go into that more. What people did you meet that really
like tuned me up?
Yeah, that really put you to that next level. Like, okay, like this is just something I could really do. This is something I see that I could make a career out of.
So it's kind of funny, like when I first started producing, like I produced for my boy Guap. He was from Newark. Come to find out, like we was like all the. I was next door friends. I was best friends with my next door neighbor, but that was
Okay.
his cousin and shit.
Okay.
So like my next door neighbor, his name was Kurt, and we grew up together like all through my childhood, before music, before anything. But he was the rapper. Like on my block, Kurt was the rapper. You know, like all the drug dealers,
Yeah.
everybody knew him. They would call him personally to come outside to come rap for them. So basically, I met Kurt. He introduced me to his cousin Guap. When I met Guap, he was rapping, but he was nice. Like he was able to rap on beats. Kurt was more of a like freestyle rapper. Like he was battle rapping types.
Okay.
But Guap was a battle rapper. He had that type of style, but he still could flow on beats with an aggressive tone. So once I got in the studio with him, I saw like the magic happening, and like I was still in that phase of not knowing if it's right or wrong. You know,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
just the process of creating. It was just me learning, like, yo, this shit is new to me. Like, let me try it out. Let me see what I can do, because I always want my hands all over everything. That's my whole nature. Like, I want to own everything I touch. So it's just like, once I did that, the experience I got, like, it was pretty good, man. Like, I felt good about it. You know, it made me want to keep doing more. So we just kept going back and practicing. I would practice with him, come back home, like compare the song to like a song that I would listen to all the time, and like point out the differences, just try to perfect my craft with the shit. But it took me a lot of learning to, you know, actually know what to look for, my errors and mistakes. But it was a good journey though.
So you really feel like that prepared you for where you at now? Like how you feel like that growth was from at that point to now?
Shit, truthfully, I be wishing I still had the same fire and desire from those days, because now I move more strategical. Back then, I was so fiery. Like, if you tell me to, like, just cook up, I'm going to do it. Like, with no purpose, though. You get me? So now I'm more, like, strategical with shit. I feel like that's what it taught me, to be more, well, just to organize my shit a little bit better, you know?
You feel like you're more intentional, like with what you put out,
Exactly.
and what you're trying to do, like what you're trying to promote.
Pretty much. I mean, right now, yeah, I could still work on marketing a little bit better, but you know, it's my life, my regular life, and then juggling with career, so I could do better with it though, you know. But I still keep that shit in the back of my head as like number one. Like,
What drives you to keep going?
ownership, for real. Just the entrepreneur inside of me, like the desire to like want more out of life. That's about it. My family.
That what got you started in music, to like keep going in music?
Nah, not really. I feel like my drive really came more so just me as a person, like growing up in my house. Like since young, like my parents never told me like, you know, go get a job, go to school, go get a job. They always told me like, go to school and start your own business. That's what I was raised on. So I was raised on like being independent and shit like that. So I never really like had like a weak drive to where as though like I'll start something and then don't finish. Like I always finish what I do. Even if I feel like I'm not finished or I'm not close to finish, I'm pushing myself like, yo, finish that shit. Like, you know, I just can't leave no crumbs. Bro.
Yeah.
So I'm just naturally like that. I don't feel like the music or anything is pushing me to be like that. That's just more so me.
It's just naturally
my
innate.
determination, yeah.
Have you started any businesses or anything, like took your family advice?
Well, I definitely did start a business, which is what I'm wearing now, Potent Clothing Company. I started this back in 2016 unofficially, but like in 2020 I officially like got my LLC and shit. Started taking it a little bit more serious, but it's still a learning battle, you know, it's still a chase. I learned a lot with the clothing line. Because as a kid, I used to draw a lot before I started doing music. My pops, he used to do graffiti and shit. My pops was into rapping. He was a DJ as well. But his career flopped. I
But
guess
you picking up where you left off.
He didn't really take it serious, but like that was another blessing for me, because like when I was DJing, like my whole attic was full of records. Like still to this day, I use those records to produce with. Like, so it's just like the collection, the category was already there. Like music been in my family.
So what would you say? I mean, it sounds like you know you got your family. They told you like with your business, with your music. So you always had that creative passion to not just work a 9 to 5. So you know you got to make something shake for yourself. Yeah, but what would you say is you like more so far? I mean, I know you know everything changed, but you know music, doing clothing, or you just feel like just having the option to work for yourself it's just that drives you enough where it don't matter what I'm doing.
Nah, it's really like, cause it was a phase of my life where like I had to really change my frame of thought.
Okay.
Cause I was going in the wrong direction. Like I was considering myself back then like I was more of a follower, bro.
Okay.
Like, I was a follower for real. I was a follower with my own style. It's like I was behind the wrong crowd doing the wrong things in a sense, and it's just like I didn't know nothing else. So I had to back away from that to revitalize and reanalyze like what I really wanted out of life. It was kind of mixy though, like in a sense, cause it would still be like, yo, get your own business, but I thought it was like coming from a place where they thought it was impossible.
Okay.
Not like, you know, like it was beneficial, it was a good suggestion, but they probably didn't think I would take it that far, you know? So it was kind of like, yeah, get a 9 to 5, make sure, because if I had a 9 to 5, they would still try to push me like, oh, get a government job, or get some shit with some security or whatever. But in my life, I didn't want to do that. I can't, like, bro, music is not like a government job. Granted, the type of money I'm making, I could pay for all of those benefits that a government job give me. So that's how I thought as a kid. So them telling me like start your own business was like a plan B for me.
Okay.
Like, you know, so it was like 9 to 5, but a good 9 to 5, or you could start your own business. Those like the two things that they would push me to do, but more so like start your own business. I took that into heart a little bit more because I don't want to be constrained. That was my thing. I felt constrained. Somebody telling me to come to work, I'm getting pennies on the dollar. Like, it just didn't make no sense to me. Like, I'm trading my time for money.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do that, I'd rather put all my time into me. And that's just how I took it. And from there, I just started to learn business, learn what I gotta do. How do I get this done? How do I get started? What do I need? What kind of business do I want to do? What do I do on a daily basis? Just, you know, dissecting myself, basically. That's it. Just to figure out my path through life.
I mean, you pretty much said you did that because, like you said, when you was not DJing, excuse me, producing. How you said you did that transition from just doing the mixes to how to make money off of that.
Right. To create a living for myself.
Exactly. Tell people more about that and how, if somebody listening, maybe how they could get started. I know that you probably don't want to give too much.
No, it's cool because like that was another thing. Like when I needed the source, nobody would give it to me.
Yeah.
Everybody was like gatekeeping, so that's why I say when I was DJing, it was kind of hard. And like once I actually got nice at DJing, and like I was one of the top young cats from the Jersey City crew or era or whatever they want to categorize it as. You know, a lot of people would ask me for shit, but I started gatekeeping. I'm like, yo, I done worked my way up to the top. I had to climb mountains to get in because nobody leaked the knowledge. But like, I don't mind like spilling the beans and shit, like, because it's not affecting me. I'm gonna do what I do. You gotta do what you do.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that we're gonna make the same money, you know. You gotta take it, you gotta go hard with it just to get that type of amount of cash. But the game has changed since back then. Like it was still like when I started working with artists, it was still more so like go through a label, you know, record label standard shit like that. Like the game changed now to where as though like you could be fully independent, get paid off streaming, control your own marketing. It just fell into my hands in a sense because like, you know, I like to have my hands on everything. I want to control everything. I want to own everything solely because I'm trying to create financial wealth for myself, financial freedom. And I'd rather do it by doing something I love than to be working somewhere I don't really want to be. But right now, I say for anybody that's coming up, like you could just really just stay down, dedicate yourself to your craft, master it first, and then like focus on the business side of it, you know, like try to market yourself, brand yourself up to a point where as though like people recognize you for your brand, not only just that, but yourself too, your name. You are the brand. You got to look at it like that. You are the tool. Like I be telling my girl, like, imagine yourself as a construction worker wearing a tool belt. You're supposed to fill up each pocket with knowledge so you know, like, if it's containing your field, you know how to do everything, you know? So nobody can't jerk you, nobody can't take nothing from you, nobody can't try to swindle you out of your craft or your path. You know, so right now though, I feel like everybody got the means to make it pop. It's just about being dedicated and just mastering your craft, bro. Like you could easily get distribution deals when it comes to music, like the streaming platforms. You pay monthly little fees and shit like that, collect your little royalties, sell merchandise, start a clothing brand, you know, sell home goods, anything. Like, bro, I say just start your own business.
How was the process getting started with your LLC? For somebody that want to get started with that and get started with their own business?
A little shaky. Cause like I still didn't really know what to do, and like when it was really a risk. I say I took a risk basically, cause I was sure but unsure at the same time. Cause I spent like years before that, like just getting the knowledge up, and then when the time came, it was like, all right, now's the time. Like, let's see if I really remember what I learned. Like, so basically, I feel like I overpaid during that process, like with getting all my paperwork done, and my LLC established because I just wanted like to be secure. Like a lot of people don't have to like do what I did because I got like a will, a trust, but I don't even got a family yet for all of that shit to be in effect, you know. But it's there for when it happens. So I just wanted to set myself up with that. But it's easy to get an LLC right now. I say you could go to your like state, city hall, apply for LLC and shit like that. Get your EIN number from IRS.gov. You know, go to NJ Business Name Search. Make sure the name that you chose ain't being used. That's pretty much it. With your business, make sure you get a business bank account, please, people. Don't be doing business through Cash App, Zelle. If you're gonna use Zelle and Cash App, make sure it's solely for business and like it's under a business name. I don't know if you can do that. They probably like upgraded the times now to where as though like you can, but I don't fucking know. There's plenty of prepaid business accounts that you can use for. Just get one of those, bro. I'ma feel like your business.
As long as like you said, like a legitimate bank account.
Yeah. I'ma feel like you janky if you trying to like do Cash App and shit like that.
But I feel like they kind of tightening up with that now, cause like I know at the top of the what was it 23, 22, the IRS now they check your Cash App and stuff. So
No,
they trying to straighten up.
Sometimes it's weird with that too, cause like when you get large amounts and shit, it'd be hard for you to take your money out. It'd be hard for you to send money. That shit get locked.
Yeah, I always tell them if it's
that.
over 500, don't mess with
I
Cash
ain't
App.
got time for that,
I think
bro.
one time I tried. It was like send or I tried to see like $2,000. Oh my god! I think that's like 2 days to come. I was so scared, bro. I thought that shit was never gonna come.
Another thing is too, like even when you gotta transfer your funds out, it's fees. You losing
Word.
money.
So it really kind of like
yeah,
don't
like,
make sense.
You paying the middleman for no reason and shit.
But back to the topic, we kind of got a little to catch up.
Word.
But all right. So mainly, let's really get back to the topic. Your mixtape. That's what you really came in for. So tell us about that and what was the process and what was your mind like? How was you feeling? What was your mind state when you were making your newest mixtape?
So my latest mixtape, I produced a project for my boy G Jers. I know him for a while too. Our latest project was more some like trying to bring bars back, but with a fun twist.
Mm-hmm.
So we called it Genesis, because it's his first project and it's the beginning for him. And plus he drives a Genesis, so it's like. And plus I work at GameStop on the side and shit, so it's like it all flushed into one. So that's how we came out with the title and like the whole theme of it. As far as like the music though, like I let him control the music. Like whatever he told me, he wanted to have like a street feel, but like still be fun and shit. Like to where as though you could listen and laugh, but like still listen and be like, damn, that was hard. Like you get me? So we took a more of a calm approach. Just try to rap over like old songs from like the 80s, the 90s. Well, I wouldn't want to say the 90s, more so like the 60s, 80s, 70s, stuff like that. Like just loops. It's more of a like soulful jazz feeling type of tape with a hip hop twist.
What inspired you for that?
Shit, truthfully, him. For real, I would say him. He pushed the narrative, you know, like I would just run through different sounds. And he'll be like, yeah, this is the feeling that I'm looking for. So once I got the first song down, it just, you know, I just kept following that same track record of what he told me, the template.
Where did you get the interest for music? Like you said, 60s, 70s, that's pretty specific. So
that's just like being a producer. Like
you just had a different.
Well, it could be my sound too, because like a lot of people don't have to use music from that, but I'm a real soulful dude. Like in my house, all I heard was like jazz. Jazz and hip hop. It was jazz and rap. My grandfather would play jazz all day. My pops would play hip hop all day. So that kind of formulated my style was jazz and rap. So the soul and like the smooth melodic shit, or even up tempo shit, like you know, I fuck with that heavy. So that I guess that's why he came to me too, because he know I got that type of flavor. And it was like right up his alley. So making the music wasn't really that hard once he gave me his template for it.
How long did it take for you to finish the project?
Not long. It's funny because like right now he's from Jersey City, but like he live in Atlanta, and like he came up here on a couple trips, you know. So we got that tape done in like a month and a half.
Okay.
With him traveling back and forth from Atlanta to Jersey and dealing with his family, me going to work dealing with my shit. So that took like a month and a half, and plus like he's an incredible writer, like bro, that dude could write, like. That's why I fuck with him, because it wasn't really that hard. It didn't take that long because we so good at what we do on both ends, I guess. He's a good writer, I'm a good producer. Once the song mesh and we both can agree on it, it clicks. Like,
I was saying, that must take a lot of dedication and, like you said, a lot of work on both parties.
Word.
For like you said, he's in Atlanta, you here, and like you said, you both got your own thing going on.
Yeah, he's way much older than me, yo. I think my boy G is like in his 30s, mid-30s. Okay. I'm only like 29 and shit, so. Okay. He got way more experience in hip hop. Like he came up in the hip hop era, like when it first started. He's an '80s baby. I'm a '90s baby. You know, so I was there for like the Jay-Z, Nas, Wu-Tang shit. How
do you feel that? I mean, it is a different generation, the '80s and the '90s. So how do you feel like that? Working with him, that gave you like you said, different creative process. I know you kind of said he kind of helped you with this sound for this project, but or just working with anybody in different generation to have a different idea.
Honestly, out of all of every body of work that I did with an artist, I feel like he was the most developed, and that's not to like shun anybody else, but I just feel like it's his experience with like rapping and music. That's why he was like so developed already. I was more appreciative to work with him. Even though I know he was so happy to work with me, but it's like, yo, no, like he looking up to me when I'm looking up to him. Yeah. So it's just like, bro, like you don't understand how long I've been looking for a nigga like you to rap. Like, he just like blessed me, and then I blessed him back with the beats, and like, cause he didn't have no knowledge of like music. He always wrote and rapped, but he never took it serious to like put his music out there. So it really was like when we started this tape, like we both like sat down with each other. We built for a couple weeks. And I just had to really make sure like it was something he wanted to do, because I'm a nigga that'll go all in for you. Don't tell me you want to start something and then don't finish, because I'm a nigga that I'm a finish. Like,
how y'all met with each other? Through Instagram or?
No, I've been knew him. G, my boy G, I used to go to his house. His house was the studio back then. So I used to go to his house to go make music and shit like that. It's just that he wasn't rapping. He was more into making beats back then, because he went to school for making beats. I didn't go to school for none of this shit. Like, I learned solely on my own how to play music, make music, DJ, everything. Like, I learned all that shit on my own. But he went to school for music and shit, so I guess that like he's equipped, bro. Like, I guess we just blessed each other. This whole tape is a blessing, yo. It's a blessing in disguise. I feel like it'll catch up to people later if they don't catch it now. It's a legendary tape, bro. That's how I feel.
You could have do.
It's definitely legendary though.
Or so what do you see next for yourself in music?
For music right now, I see more consistency, because like I be going a lot. Yo, I'll drop in like 2-3 months of consistency and then I'll dip off. So that's my main goal. Like right now, just try to be more consistent. So give more people a bigger selection of work and let them know like I'm still here. Because I know they probably be getting vibes like, yo, Qua, where the hell you at? Like, you be here, then you not here. Like, I don't know what's up with you, but in my mind, in my life, like, I'm always going to be here. But I got to show that to the people, too, you know. So I feel like that's what's in the future plans for me as far as music goes. Just keep dropping.
Who is your favorite artist growing up that, like, inspires you with music, your sound?
Growing up?
Or growing up and now?
Wiz Khalifa and Currency. That's what a lot of people know me for.
Okay.
Like, a lot of people wasn't jacking them like when they first came out, but I was one of the biggest advocates out here in Jersey City. That's like...
Yeah, that's a distinct sound.
Yeah, word. It really was. Because like I said, it was jazz, it was melodic, and not only the music, but I was more influenced by them, by their lifestyle, by the way they was handling business. They was independent. They was the only two artists that I seen like coming up during that time in 2010, 2011 that was really doing their thing by themselves. I'm like, oh shit, they making music on a major label scale, but they not signed. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I fuck with this shit. So it was different, so I started tapping into that. I feel like those two guys really like paved the way for me and influenced like what I do to this day now.
That's where you feel you get a lot of your sound from, or
Not my sound.
You get your sound from just.
I get my sound
everywhere.
a lot right now. Currently, right now, I get my sound from the South. Like,
Okay.
I like making trap shit, upbeat shit, club shit. Like, I want to make hits.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, aside from all the independent shit, like, I still want to be independent, but I want to make hits. So right now, my beats be sounding upbeat. They sound like what you'll hear right now on the radio, ready to go. They sound like what you'll hear in the club, like, you know. But if it's a particular artist, like my boy Jerz, you know, I'm gonna take it back from him. Let's get eclectic. Let's go. Let's dig through the essentials. You know, let's see what we got. We can switch up the sound. Like that's another thing about me. Like I could switch my sound up. Like I'm not just one way. Like if you come to me like you want a track like Lil Pump, I could do that too. You want to be like Lil Uzi, I could do that too. You want Jersey Club, you want R&B, you want trap, you want soul, you want jazz. It doesn't matter. I'll get it done for you.
Who was the producer that you mainly feel like you was influenced by?
Southside.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. Southside, Lex Luger, Ninth Wonder, Crisis. A lot of like, bro. When I used to rap too, like I was an artist. Like when I first started making beats, I was rapping on my own beats. But I was rapping on some like boom bap shit because that was like the most easiest shit for me to feel at the time. It's like it's so much space in those beats. I wasn't trying to write a song. I was just expressing myself back then. But the shit I make now is more so for like songs. I want to make songs, like I said, hits. If it's not a song, I don't really give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a freestyle. Like you could have kept that in your pocket. Like, you know, I'm trying to make money, bro. I'm trying to build a brand, build a label, like build a foundation so that people could see, like, yo, you could take it to the next level by yourself. Like, I'm tired of niggas being so scary to move by themselves, like, because they don't know how to move. That's the whole part about stopping what you're doing and going to do the research so you could be well prepared. Like, when y'all started this podcast, y'all knew exactly what y'all wanted to do. You may not know.
An idea, yeah.
Yeah, you may not know fully, but you obviously know what it takes to get done to get you to where you need to be.
100%.
Exactly. So I feel people need to do that work first.
So who inspired you with the clothing line? That was just something that you thought about? Was that something that you? Cause I know you said you draw and stuff. So was that something that you always just had and just like where that inspiration came from?
So the clothing really came about. It's just like having another stream of income for real. Like yeah, my artistry is tapped into it, but like I said, I'm trying to be independent and wealthy at the same time. I want to create generational wealth and passive income. So basically, like what I mean by that, I want to build businesses so that way I don't have to be there. You get what I'm saying? So that was just another business that I felt like would be lucrative with my plans aside to music and shit like that. So that's really it. And the fact that I can draw, I got talent for graphic design. I just put myself to work.
Where a lot of your style come from?
A lot of my style come from streetwear, hip hop, a lot of 90s shit. I dress baggy, I dress formal. Not so much formal, but like regular, I guess. The skinny style, whatever, however they want to consider it. Like, but I really got a streetwear type of style though. That's what I'm really more into, streetwear shit. I fuck with streetwear heavy. I was really like growing up as a kid, I was more of a sneaker dude.
Okay.
I was really more of a sneaker dude. I ain't really give a fuck about the clothes that much, but I was still fly. But I always gave a fuck about my shoes. Like that's just how I felt, bro. I always had kicks before I got clothes.
I feel like growing up, especially like in the hood, I feel like that was. I think everybody agree with that. You know,
Facts. I was heavy on sneakers.
That was the main thing.
Definitely heavy on sneakers. My style definitely comes from like the streets, though. Definitely the streets. That's
Gotcha. So, going back to what you were saying about like risk and reward, how would you say you calculate that? Like, how do you figure like this is the right time for me to take this time? I know you say you gotta prepare, all right, but a lot of people out there probably say like, okay,
that's kind of when you know though. Like it's when you preparing.
Cause that's why you can prepare. A lot of people say like, I prepare all the time. Like for example, I can study. I'm gonna study to.
I guess like.
When do I know it's like this is it?
Yeah, the way I do it, my best advice would be like put yourself in a situation to where as though you are the owner and the customer.
Okay.
So like be on both ends of the spectrum. Like think like that. Like as an owner, this is what I want. If I was buying something for myself, what would I want to receive? How would I want it packaged? How could I compare it to another brand as opposed to like if I go shopping somewhere else or if I do something somewhere else and pay somebody for it? Like what do they give me? and I need to implement that into my business. So I need to know how to go do that stuff. So this way, the person that comes by for me can have the same experience. You know, like
Yeah.
that's all in the same. I mean, you still gotta be educated to know that shit, but it's just small shit like that could like definitely factor your risk and reward a
No,
lot.
100%. And also, I know you mentioned it's like, okay, like you said, you even struggle with like being consistent.
Yeah,
So I
definitely.
feel like a lot of people out there, they feel like they don't even want to get started with it, maybe a podcast or
Yeah.
starting their business or doing whatever because they feel like they're not prepared. And like even you say, you're like, okay, well sometimes I have my time where I'm not consistent. Sometimes I have my moments where I'm just trying to prepare and I know when to execute.
Yeah.
How what would you say to people out there that probably just scared to take that jump?
Don't jump that motherfucker. Put the idea back in your fucking head. Delete that shit. Don't jump, bro. That's all I would really say, cause it's like, yo, even though like I'm not as consistent as I want to be, at the same time I still have an ultimate goal. And like I told you, like before the podcast, like I move at my own pace. Like I'm not competing with nobody else. I'm not paying attention to anybody else or what they doing. Like pressure myself to be like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta be fast. It gotta be like, nah, bro. Like that's why I say when you do the research and you really tack down on what you want and you build it up to be like suitable with that armor on it, to where as though nobody can crack it, you'll be alright. But if you never take that step, if you gonna worry all day, then it's like, alright, bet. I got a solution for y'all niggas that worry. If you worried about an idea that you want to put out, how about you take it to somebody else and see if they'll invest in it for you? Maybe you could be like a part owner of something that you started instead of like controlling the whole thing. Go to somebody that might be doing that shit and see if they'll like invest into your idea for you. But they're not gonna do that shit for free. Like they're gonna want some percentage of it. Like, especially if they see like you already don't have the faith, you know. So it's like just let them take over, let them control, get a piece of the profit and move on. Maybe that'll give you the confidence to start your own shit for the next time, you know? Because you'll see like, yo, I brought my idea to somebody, they brought it to life. That's fire. Like I didn't even think it could happen. Let me go back and talk to them and see like what they did. You know, just politicking, network with people.
Yeah, I like that. You feel like you networked a lot that helped you, or how was that for you?
I networked a lot, but it was more so, yeah, that's networking, like relationships
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
I had a lot of relationships with people, and plus, like, I would be outside a lot, like at every party, every event, like, even if I didn't know people, I was pulling up with people. Like if Greg be like, yo, pop out with me to this party, I don't gotta know people there. I'm fucking with you, like, let's go. I might see somebody I know, or meet somebody, you know. And that's like a part of me that I said I wish I had back, like that fiery stage, because I don't be outside like that anymore.
Okay.
Like life is different now. Like we older now, we got more responsibilities. I can't just be outside on the block all day chilling, doing nothing with myself, because then who's creating the product? So that's why I'm not around a lot, because I am the boss, I am the brand, and I am the creator. I'm the only creator. I don't have employees.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
But in the future, I will. In the future, I will.
For sure.
Yeah.
What would you say your creative process is like with everything?
I gotta feel it first, for real. Like, that's another part of my inconsistency. Like, if I'm not feeling it, and it's just like I feel like I gotta force something out to the people, then it's like I won't do it.
Okay.
You know, it's like quick, and I feel like I'm scamming people out of their money. It's just like, bro, I wouldn't even buy that shit off me. Like, why would I want to sell it to somebody else? Like, but you got people that really take advantage of the system like that. They just use motherfuckers. I don't fuck with that, but I gotta really feel it in order for me to do it.
What about for music?
For music, that's like walking on water for real. Like I feel like Jesus with that shit.
You've been doing it for so long,
Like,
it's
for
just
real.
natural
Like,
for you, right?
Yeah, that's just natural. Like it'd be some days where I wake up and I just do music with no intent, and it just come out to be fire. And there's other days where I have intent and it's not as good. You know, so it could be up and down, but my creative process is just like free form.
Are you
That's
one of
what
the
I
people
would
that
say,
go into the studio and you just chill and smoke and just letting it come to you, or you like
Pretty much.
already okay?
Pretty much.
Yeah, walk us through the studio's process. How you create a song?
Like I just left the studio from last night, so like last night, one of my artists like that I work with, he fell asleep and shit, and I was left with the other producer that was there and shit that I didn't know. It was my first time meeting him or whatever. So like we first started talking, smoking, chilling, catching up, talking about our creative processes, like the shit he used, the shit I use, blah blah blah, his type of style, who he worked with. So I try to like get it to a comfort level zone first, and then like I'll ask the artist like what type of direction you feeling. If they give me the right to just like wing it, of course I'm gonna wing it. That's what I do. But like if they need a specific sound, I'll just basically let them guide me. Like I have them play me different songs that they like or listen to or inspired by, like maybe a beat selection. Like give me some beats that you like, you know, stuff like that. Like I just basically try to work with them if they want me to, but if they don't want me to, I'll control the show. And when I'm controlling the show, I'm gonna basically create a whole new sound that's gonna be ready to go. I want to create hits.
I know you can't. I know you can't say names. I know you probably can't get too much detail. But what was your craziest studio session?
My craziest studio session? Shit, I feel like it was like...
Oh.
Because I ain't motherfucking sleep, bro. I felt dead to the earth. I made like... Well, collectively, me and the other producer, we had to at least make like a good 10 beats a piece. That's like 20 beats in a matter of 8 hours.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's just like, that shit, yo, bro. I definitely had way more sessions that was crazier. Like at my boy G Jerry's house back then, like when he had the studio at his crib, we had so many. Like, bro, I don't even have the people here to like. I can't.
Got it.
Bro, I don't even want to put that out there, bro.
Got
but
it.
That shit was way long ago. Like, it was fun though, yo.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good experience. A lot of drugs, a lot of females, a lot of partying. But music was still getting made though.
Yeah.
Like, you get me? Like, the shit was still being, it was productive. Like, but it was just wild shit going on that niggas wasn't supposed to be doing. Like, the craziest thing I could say was like, they had this one nigga like drinking Robitussin in the party.
Oh shit.
They put Robitussin in like the punch and told niggas it was lame and had the whole fucking studio.
Damn.
That was like one crazy moment I'll never forget, yo. One crazy moment I'll never forget.
What did you think? What is the biggest distraction you would say?
Biggest distraction.
Or
right
that
now?
right now, or just even with your creative process, like that you try to stay diligent with like I'm intentional while I work. What's the distraction that you
My
have to
distraction
overcome?
back then was no intent. I had no intention, so that's why I was distracted because I was looking for anything to do. So you give me something to do, I'm gonna do it. But I ain't had no intentions of my own to like. That's why I had to go through that phase of life because I was just following whatever path was already paved. I was just going in that path instead of creating my yellow brick road. But I had to go through a couple hardships in life to like sit me down and be like, yo, what the fuck do you want? And then when I actually got to that point in my life, it's like, yo, like I'm missing a lot of shit that I could have been done. Like, but I wasted so much time. I spent so many years now, like my adult life, of like just getting the shit back that I forgot to get as a teenager. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like a lot of that shit I'm trying to put back into perspective with myself. That was one of like my biggest distractions though, not having no intent back then for real.
Or so that, but like you say, you feel like you've grown and your creative process is different now. So
Yeah, definitely different. I'm more strategical now.
or how did you get there?
Well,
Just trial and error,
trial and error, and then also studying. Like that's another thing too. Like when you studying shit, you can't just like not work either. Like you still have to be creative because it's like when you in school, you study. Like you'll learn something in class, and then like you'll have to do an assignment right after, right? So like if I'm in the studio, I'll listen to like jazz music and then go like watch some shit on YouTube. Like I'll look at how jazz is played, like how jazz is different from something else. Because every genre has a different swing to it. So like you can't make jazz with a hip hop like type of it's not gonna sound the same. It's gonna sound chopped up and shit. Like you'll tell it's hip hop. You're not gonna think it's jazz. So like you will have to just study basically whatever you're trying to create. But in that midst of studying, I say still practice. So like you could brush up on yourself. But while you're practicing, that doesn't necessarily mean like you're ready. You'll know when you're ready. You know when you're ready when you're able to do some shit flawlessly. After studying so long and you just got it like the back of your hand, like, bro, you got it already. Move on to the next step. How many times you gonna take the same test, bro? You know you're gonna get an A. So just go do some shit you don't know now. And you keep building, you put more tools on your tool belt, and once your shit full, you could walk out to work. Good. That's how it go, man.
I know I was asking you earlier about your creative process and stuff like that. And that's like, oh, like how, like you went through that, like smoke and you chill in this studio. Do you feel like that affect your creative process? Do you feel like it helped? 'Cause I know with like Lil Uzi Vert, I think he said that I think he said him being sober, I think actually helped him. No. I think he said it helped him make I Wanna Rock. So one of the
I
things.
get what you mean.
Either way,
I get what you
how
mean.
do you feel it helps her? How do you feel it? How do you feel about that?
It really depends on my day, cause like if I'm having like a day where I don't really want to be bothered, then it's just be like, yeah, I fuck with the weed. I get high to like try to get myself in a better mood, or like I'll drink a little something. Not even if it's not drugs, like I'll interact with other people and shit, like just to get in a better state of mind.
Yeah.
Talk and get a different perspective on things, but most of the time, like shit. Damn, what was the question again? It happened again. I blanked out.
I was just saying, how do you feel like smoking or drinking or anything? Do you feel like it helps your creative process? Do you feel like it hurt your creative process or?
Well, it doesn't hinder.
Really matter?
It doesn't hinder. Only time it would hinder me is like if I'm going to like a situation where I've never been in before, and I'm like, wow, I got anxiety and shit, and I'm like nervous a little bit. I wouldn't smoke or drink. Not until I got into the room and I felt the energy first. If I feel the energy with my anxiety and I walk in the room, I'm not doing shit. I'm trying to be on point, so this way I make sure I develop. But at the same time, it might be the same instance where I do got anxiety and I walk in the room and I might smoke just to calm the fuck down. Because I might think too much and take shit to left. And I'm around a bunch of niggas high and I'm sober and I'm just like, yo, I'm not feeling right. The energy is off, dumbass. That's why.
Yeah, because I was asking, we had our last guest up here, Pressure, a couple weeks ago. And he said he don't smoke or drink. I said he's from Jersey City as well. So I was asking him, like, you know, how did you feel like growing up, you know, not smoking, or even now being in the industry, you're not smoking and drinking? And he definitely said it was, you know, it's different. You know, a lot of people, I feel like it kind of like
a clear mental state for real. Like I understand completely, cause like me, that's just my personal preference. I'm a smoker. Like I was smoking without music, with music, like, you know. So I'm a smoker. For anybody else that's really not like a smoker though, I say don't go indulge into peer pressure. Like if you do get into a situation where it's like you got drugs and shit around, like just be you. But I'm a smoker. I'm a smoker if a nigga asks me like, you know, like let's smoke.
Yeah.
It just depends. Like I got enough in me to be like, nah, I'm good, bro. Even if I don't got no weed, I don't gotta smoke with you. Yeah. Like I'll get high off contact, I'll be high. It just depends on my mood, bro. But for me, I'm a smoker, so that really doesn't bother me in the studio. I pay attention to the artist though.
Okay.
I wouldn't want the artist to get too fucked up and nothing like that to where as though they can't operate. You know, as long as you can handle yourself, all fine by me. But if you can't handle yourself,
have you ever ran into a time when it happened?
A lot. Definitely a lot, bro. Like in the beginning phase, because a lot of people, like a lot of artists, they go to the studio and just use it as a cool mechanism. Yeah. Like, I'm smoking in the studio, blah,
and
blah,
they
blah.
waste
But
studio
you can't
time.
handle yourself. Yeah. Burning studio time. You giving me all your money. Like, what you gonna do at the end of the night when you don't got no song and you looking at me when you gotta pay? Like, control yourself, you know? I can handle myself. I'm not a major drinker, but I'll take a few shots, you know. Yeah. I get fucked up over liquor, bro. I cannot handle that shit. Like, so
you don't really drink like that?
I don't drink like that, bro. Like 2 shots, 2 cups for me, I'm good. Like, cause I'ma just smoke weed the rest of the night. Yeah. I don't drink like that. And plus, drinking was heavy in my family. I lost a lot of family to drinking, so I never really wanted to become a drinker, like, for real.
So that kind of motivates you
Like I'll drink with you occasionally, but I ain't the nigga that be like, yo, let's get a bottle. Like that's
got
not
it.
me.
Got it.
I'll drink if you got a bottle, and if I do drink, I'm drinking Jameson. That's it.
You don't meet too many people that drink Jameson.
Oh.
I said you don't meet too many people that drink Jameson. I fuck with Jameson.
Whiskey. Exactly.
Word.
Jameson and ginger ale, bro, all day.
Yeah,
that's my drink.
That's my go-to too.
Buy me a bottle, get me Jameson.
That's my go-to as well.
Whiskey, brother. That's a cop drink. I ain't no fed though.
Really? Oh shit, I didn't know that. You learn something every day.
Yeah, the cops be drinking.
Oh wow. So what you I know I asked you a question a little bit earlier, but going back to it, what do you see moving forward, or going forward rather, excuse me, with your career, with everything, music,
I'm glad you asked me.
clothing.
I'm glad you said career, not just a specific thing, because like I'm not gonna be in a specific thing. Right now, man, like I said, I want to just generate generational wealth. And like, I'm basically, what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to utilize everything that I've been doing all my life because all the skills that I naturally have are businesses that I can create. You get me? It's just me taking the time out to put everything in order, doing the research, making sure I'm prepared for it, making sure I find the right people to help me, you know. And that's about it. But I definitely see myself more as like a business dude. Like, I just want to help people get better, like, because like in our community, like we don't really know wealth for real. Like, we don't know how to manage wealth. Even the little bit of money that we get now on a day to day, the average week to week check and shit, like that's not money. Like, you can't survive off that shit. So that be like my biggest thing, like as far as like people in urban communities. I just want to show niggas like it's a way, and like it's a way you could live good and not have to like be on some shit where you gotta trap or you gotta live check to check. If you are living check to check, I want to be able to tell people how to manage that shit so you could escape that. Like, but I gotta still finish my journey first before I can like leave. You get me? So that's what I'm in the process of doing. So when I finally get there, y'all know, cause I come back down the ladder and pull some people up. You know, I'm not the crab in the barrel. That's not me. It never been me.
What's one thing you want people to know about you that you feel like
Exactly that. I'm not a
just
crab.
that?
I'm not a crab in the barrel. I'm not a follower. I'm definitely a leader. I lead by example off of it. So I'm not gonna tell you to do some shit that I ain't never do. If I'm in the process of doing it, I'm not gonna tell you until I'm done. You get me? So I lead by example, man. That's how I always live. Like, lead by example. You know, and I feel like that was a major piece that I needed to learn in my teenage years because, like I said, I didn't have no narrative to go off of. I was just following whatever was cool and shit. So it's like I had to really analyze that shit and create a different way, bro. And I learned that all that shit that I was doing was obsolete. Like, it was completely backwards. Like, that shit helped me mature a lot, for real.
So obviously in turn that helped you to where you at now.
Yo, facts. And I just want to I want to be that same person I was for myself for somebody else. That's just like, if I can help you become successful, that's making my heart smile. I don't need $1 from you, because I already know, like, I'm building somebody up to be as good as me or better. And then you are you at the end of the day, so you could put your own twist on however you want it to be, like, to go back and get different people, or, you know, help people in a way that you feel like is beneficial for you and them.
Word.
But I'd rather build like a whole team of people like that. You get me? And just build like that, so we all rich. We all can rely on each other with or without each other. You know, like, I just want that legendary team, bro. That circle, that power circle. That's what I really want. And I feel like I gotta be the first one to do that, to set that example. Because everybody that I know or where I'm from, they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if they do, they, like you said, they scared to even start. So it's just like, being that I took the risk to start says a lot. Like, you know, and I started a long, long time ago. Like, I've always changed with the times. Like, I'm probably the first nigga in Jersey City that had music on Apple Music when that shit first started. Because people didn't know how to do it. They didn't have a tune core. They didn't have a distro kid. They didn't have none of that shit. United, they didn't have none of that. And I had music up there. You know, it's probably still up there. I don't know.
Actually, I know something we talked off a little bit off camera. I know you had mentioned the QR code. Tell a little bit people about that, actually.
Yeah, I was like innovative with the clothes. Like in 2016, I dropped my first garment. Well, I don't want to say garment because that's like high quality. I dropped a t-shirt, basically. A t-shirt with a design on it. And the design was really on some fly shit, like, not fly as in, you know, nice to wear as fashion, but like on the fly creatively. Like, I was basically in my little studio shit, sitting at the desk. I'm staring at the Gatorade bottle, so my brand was called Potent, so I just took the little Gatorade symbol and put a P on it. I made a shirt. I didn't know if it was gonna sell or not. I didn't even know. I just risked it. I'm like, fuck it, I'll spend a little bit of bread, see how it goes. You know, I'll never know if I don't try. So I did it, nigga. I did that shit. 32 shirts. I started out with 32 shirts. Sold them all out. Sold them all out without even knowing that they was gonna sell.
Word.
So once I did that shit, I also had music along with it, and like with that on the clothes, I had the QR code as like a price tag. Cause I thought about branding. I'm like, yo, when I go buy clothes, they got price tags and shit on it. So I just tried to like make the piece a little bit more valuable. So I gave you like a mixtape with the shirt. So you bought a shirt, you scan the QR code on the fucking tag, it'll take you to the mixtape on Apple Music. So now I'm getting paid off streams, and I'm getting paid off a t-shirt. But I basically had that system like before Nipsey Hussle had that shit with the marathon shit. But it just went over people's head. And now that you see every brand that's out right now, they got QR codes. Everybody using QR code labels, like, it's convenient, don't get me wrong. It's definitely worth it, but I was definitely the start of that shit.
Word.
I could say that.
Definitely innovative with that part.
I'm always innovative, bro. I'm always tapped in. Because like I said, I spend much time doing research before I pop out. I'm going to know that. I'm going to learn some shit to whiz, though. Like, you can't say nothing that I don't know. You know? So it's like you battling the person that's in the mix, my nigga. Like, I know what you don't know, so you can't really tell me anything.
Yeah.
I can only teach you or let you know if you're going about it the wrong way or the right way. You know? So that's how I just look at the shit. Like, I try to dissect shit to its maximum power, like, until I really know that shit through and through. Then I'll get started with something. You know, but that's about it, man.
Word, I feel it. So, definitely was great you stopping by. Definitely had a great conversation.
Definitely my first podcast too. Shout out to Going Forward. You know, going forward, I'll be more prepared.
Yeah. Before we close out, definitely tell people
where to find
IG, where to find you at, where to find your music.
Y'all can find me on IG, QuaGoingCrazy, QuaGoingCrazy. You can look me up under that name on Twitter, Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere, bro. It's under the same name. You know?
Word. Anything else? Mixtape. You said that's on Apple Music, Spotify, everything. Anything new coming out?
I got some new shit coming for the summertime as far as the clothing brand goes. I got some new shit coming for the summer. As far as music, y'all should be getting another like D-tape from me, and I say about another 2 months. 2 months. I got some more shit cooking up for y'all, bro.
Alright, so we covered all that.
Big ups to my man Steph,
Yes.
you know, been a good session.
Yes.
Going Forward podcast, this shit was lit, bro.
Yep, so my name is Steph. Thank you for stopping by on another episode of Going Forward. We had a great conversation. Catch you next time on Going Forward. We out.